All right, my geometry kiddos, here we go. We're on Skills 2, Level 2 Notes, and we're dealing with trigonometry ratios. All right, so it says trigonometry vocabulary. So we're still dealing with right triangles. Let's go ahead and look at my right triangle that I already have provided for you. And it says refer to angle A. So I'm actually going to go ahead and highlight angle A. You guys can circle it, square it, do whatever you want to do with it, okay? Now it says the side that is across from a given angle is going to be called the opposite leg. And I'm going to go ahead and actually abbreviate this guy as OPP. So what this means is if I'm looking at angle A, the side that is opposite to it, right, across from it, is going to be your opposite leg. So there's your opposite leg, is that little a. It then says the non-hypotenuse side that is next to a given angle is going to be called the adjacent leg. And we've heard this word before. We heard it when we were learning about angles in our angle unit. This here is just used in a different sense. So the non-hypotenuse side, we all know that your hypotenuse is going to be across from your right angle. So in this case, it's going to be the side of BA or AB, and it's also going to be this little c. But it's talking about the non-hypotenuse side that is next to that given angle of A. What that is going to be is this side of B. That is your adjacent side. And then the side that is across from the right angle is called the, and we all know this, it is the hypotenuse. So here's your angle C, that's your right angle. Across from that is going to be our hypotenuse. Okay, so now that we have all this labeled, let's go ahead and move down to some of these example problems. So it says for each given angle, label the opposite leg, adjacent leg, and hypotenuse. So I'm going to go ahead and again just abbreviate those big words as OPP, ADJ, and HYP. Oh, I forgot to add that one in over here. All right, so again, this time we're also going to be referring to angle A. Right, let's go ahead and start with our opposite leg. It's right across from that angle. There's my opposite leg. My adjacent leg is the non-hypotenuse side that is right next to our angle. So there's my adjacent side. And then my hypotenuse is going to be right across from your right angle. So there is your hypotenuse. And remember, the hypotenuse has to be the longest side of your right triangle. So in this case, that makes sense. All right, number 2, now we're going to be referring to angle R. Start with your opposite leg is just across from that angle of R. So here's my opposite leg. The adjacent leg is the non-hypotenuse right next to the angle. There's my adjacent leg. And then your hypotenuse is across from your right angle. Same thing with G. Let's start with the opposite. That's across from that angle of G. There's the opposite. The adjacent leg is the guy that is not your hypotenuse, but is right next to your angle. So here's the adjacent side. And then your hypotenuse is always across from your right angle. Okay, go ahead and try doing 4 through 6 on your own. So you can go ahead and pause this video real quick in order to do that, and then come back in a few seconds. All right, for number 4, we're referring to angle M. So your opposite side across from that angle, there's your opposite side. The adjacent side is the one that is not your hypotenuse, but is right next to that angle. There's your adjacent side. And then your hypotenuse is going to be across from your right angle. For number 5, we're looking at T. So I'm going to say my opposite across from the angle. So there's that opposite leg. The adjacent is the non-hypotenuse side that is right next to your angle. There you go. And then your hypotenuse is across from your right angle. Number 6, we're looking at Y. So across from your angle of Y is your opposite side. the side that is not the hypotenuse, but is right next to your angle. That's our adjacent side. And then we have across from the right angle. That is your hypotenuse. All right, we're done with the first page of notes. Not too shabby, right? Go ahead and flip the page. And now we're going to talk something about that's called the trigonometry.